Greetings everyone and welcome back to another episode here on Tough Toy Tryouts. I am Kyle and with me as always is this little tired toy tester here, Story. And today we are going to be trying a highly recommended toy from you all. It is called the Paw Hurley. I'm assuming the name comes from the fact that you can hurl it around, but I'm not sure. It is made from this material they call Zogoflex. It's supposed to be both durable, but also allows the toy to float, so that's what makes it very good for fetch, especially if you have a water dog. Plus the shape facilitates your dog being able to pick it up and carry it around as they please. This Zogoflex material is BPA free and latex free, and it's also recyclable, so that's good. It's also dishwasher safe, so if you feel like sanitizing your dog toys, just throw it in that upper rack and throw it on the sanitation cycle, and you're pretty good to go. Otherwise, just wash it with some antibacterial soap like we usually do. This toy comes in 3 different sizes and 4 different colors. I believe the small one is about 4.5 inches in length, and then that's about $9, whereas this one is the large version. It's 8.25 inches, and it is $16, so not cheap, but it does have a replacement guarantee, which they call the Love It guarantee. If it does get destroyed, they will give you a one-time replacement, or I believe they'll even do a refund if you're just that dissatisfied with the toy. But they might even give you an upgrade to a more sturdy toy, which I believe is called the Jive Ball. That's the only one that's stronger than this one. But they do mention that this one has been their best seller since 2006, which is probably why so many of you have recommended the toy. It is very good for both fetch and chewing, so unlike other toys, which are kind of obviously designed for one thing or the other, this one is very good. And again, since it does float, that allows you to play with it at the lake, the beach, whatever, in the pool. This dog you're not going to be seeing doing any of that because she hates the water, but at least she will have something to both chew and fetch around the house and out in the yard. So when it comes down to it, I'm pretty sure this toy will survive a week's use, but there are going to be 2 questions I want to have answered. Is it only good for like puncture marks because the material is kind of flexible but still very firm, or will it also work for more of a shearing force because this dog likes to kind of saw with her back teeth a lot of toys? So if that doesn't work well with the shearing force, then she might start being able to rip parts of it off, and that is definitely not good. The other thing I want to see is if it keeps her attention, because there are no treat holes in it, so you can't really just put in treats. You can spread stuff on it, but that's going to get messy very quickly, so we're really just going to have to see if this alone will keep her attention. The fact that it's a fetch toy hopefully should help with that. But we're definitely going to have to see. So now that we know what we are looking at and also what questions we want to answer, let's hand this on over to this sleepy doogie and see how it holds up after a week's heavy abuse. Wake up, Story, you got work to do. Here it is, guys, after a week's review here with Story. Before we go into the review, I wanted to mention a couple things. First thing being that we're doing a slightly different review format. Instead of the more scripted things where I'm writing down my thoughts, it's more of a candid approach. This way you can see Story a little more with the toy that we are talking about. The other thing is we're switching to a 2-week format instead of just 1 week of testing. We're doing 2. That will give us a better idea of the longevity the toy has, as well as how well it keeps Story's attention. But yeah, let's get into the review now with the Paw Hurley. So first things first, I wanted to mention that this didn't really retain Story's attention as much as I had hoped it would. She only cared about fetching it. She did chew it quite a bit, but for the most part, if we just left it out as a chew toy, she really wouldn't care that much. We were considering using some kind of treats or spreads like peanut butter or something like that, but honestly, there's not deep enough grooves for the treat spreads or anything to stay in there, so it would just be a mess and get spread all over the floor, so we didn't deem it worthy. So as for keeping her attention, it did not score that well. But let's go into build quality of the toy, which is actually the strong suit of this toy, which makes it a very good chew toy. is the flexibility of their Zolo Flex. It's very flexible. That allows for, you know, teeth to go in and not leave any puncture marks because it is very elastic. It also gives it sort of a bounce, a pretty good bounce for any fetching that could be indoors or on concrete or anything like that. And that's actually what I want to talk about next, is the actual texture of the toy is very good, which helps with throwing the toy for extended periods because, you know, it gets slobbery after a while. But the actual texturing allows it to not get too slippery and gross. This definitely helps with that. So all in all, I think the build quality is very good. I think it will stand up to some of the most powerful chewers. I think it held up very well. As for the versatility of the toy, it being kind of in between the chew and fetch area, I think it does very well. You may notice that your dog wants to play tug of war with it. I highly recommend that you do not do that because there's just not a lot of material on the toy, so a simple slip up could cost you your finger for a little bit. So I definitely would not recommend tug of war, but definitely fetch and chewing is where this toy shines. As for the price of the toy, again, this particular one was about $15–16, so it is definitely not on the cheap side. It is a good alternative for those that are looking for a fetch toy, chew toy that might even be a little stronger than Kong. It might actually be a little stronger, and I think that comes with its flexibility. And again, the fact that it is sort of stick or bone shaped makes it easier for them to retrieve and bring back to you, as well as giving you a little bit of something to grab onto instead of a ball, which you'd have to, you know, go to the mouth to get. This gives you a little more area there to grab, let go, and then do that. But again, for the price, for us, I don't think it was worth it. If you have a water dog though, I think this would be very good for you. Take it to the lake, to the beach, even just use it around the pool. I think it is very good. But since Story is not a water dog, I do not think it really made up for the price that we paid for it. If it was around half the price, around $8, I think it would definitely be worth it. That's within the Kong territory, and I could highly recommend it then. But for now, at the price, I would say I would only recommend this again if your dog is more of a water dog. But if you're looking for something for a pup like this that does not like water, there are probably better alternatives out there, especially if you're just looking for a chew or just looking for a fetch. There are better ones out there. But if you like something that's, you know, kind of the best of both worlds, give it a shot. You never know. And the fact that it's in a bunch of different sizes for, you know, all range of dogs, I think that's a very good deal. All right, and that was our thought on the West Paw Hurley. Let me know what you guys think about the toy. Is it something worth getting? Is it a little too expensive for you guys? Would you like us to try more cheaper toys, cheaper alternatives, ones that you might be willing to actually purchase? Or would you like us to continue doing ones like these that are a little more expensive to see if it's something you would actually like to invest money in? Let us know. If there are any toys you would like us to try out that you have already seen or have thought of, please let us know in the comments down below. Until next time, we'll see you guys in a couple weeks, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.